channel. Today we're going to be talking about my 4th grade curriculum. My name is Rachel. I have 4 boys. I have one that is a second year in college. I have a 12th grader, I have a 9th grader, and I have a 4th grader. And I have been homeschooling. This will be my 13th year. So I appreciate you watching. Thank you. I'm going to start off with math. We use Math-U-See. This has been a good fit for our family, especially in the younger grades. So we really enjoy this, and this is Delta, and it is for division, mostly. The first 2 weeks we started school, we've actually started school already. So the first couple weeks we just did some review for multiplication, but really it does some review in here before it gets into it. So we're doing that for math. For language arts, we're doing a couple things. We're doing Winston Grammar. This is the basic level, and most of my older boys, I think all of them, used this around 4th or 5th grade. My oldest may have even used it in 6th. That was probably just a laid-back review year for him because he knew most of this. He flew through it, and I think his brother was in 4th grade and he used it that year. But it was very helpful to him. It's a hands-on. They have little cards. They have different ones for adjectives, adverbs, nouns, verbs, and several other things, conjunctions, and they'll lay out the sentence. Of course, they start off easy, introducing the different parts of speech, and then you fill in the book. So we've used this a little bit. Explode the Code. We don't use it every day. I think I just use it as a review, as an extra. We are going to be using Spell to Write and Read is the name of the program. This is more the student book. It has all the spelling words in it. For me, and then the student will put the spelling words in this book. They review phonograms, all the phonograms in there, and then all the English rules. So we have been using this since probably most of the homeschool year, which I have been homeschooling for 13 years. So I want to say about 12 years, because I started this when my second was in kindergarten. My second oldest was in kindergarten, and that's what we used to teach them to read and write, and it has worked really well for all of them. So I have another book we're using. This is new to us this year. It's a reading journal, a complete reading curriculum for grades 2 through 8. I have not started this yet. It is put out by notconsumed.com. She has several homeschool booklets like this. She has a lot of Bible, and we're just going to try it. It looks like you read a book and then you can journal it, anything from character profile. They're all a little different. Wise choices, imagine it, there's a word study. So they have different pages to fill in. So excited about using that. My son does like to read. Another thing that we are using that is not language arts, we're going to move on, is this geography book, 100 Days Geography 5th. And I will tell you, I just found this at a discount store for like a couple dollars, and I thought, well, we'll try it. But it's really been, he's enjoyed it. And I mean, it's 5th grade. But it is fairly simple. It's got a lot of maps, all the different countries. Never really seen one quite like this, and I think it's just getting him familiar with more of the details. He's pretty good at geography already, so he has enjoyed that. Now, the bulk of my curriculum comes from a program we started when my oldest was in 6th grade, and this is actually the first book we used. It is from Heart of Dakota. and this is called Preparing Hearts for His Glory. Now, they're not really dependent on the grade. It's more what your child is able to do. Really, when my son did this in 6th grade, his younger brother was in 4th grade, and they did it together. And that worked out fine. And this is why. They actually have advancement books. Like you have, it's a literature based, and it's more of a Charlotte Mason type curriculum. And so my older son at the time did the advanced readers for it, and he had a couple, I mean, all his curriculum, his math, everything was at his age level, so that was all split up. But all of the history and the science and even the Bible memory, everything out of here, which I'll talk about, is what we did together. But this year, and then my third one in 9th grade has also done this when he was in 5th grade, but we're going to do it with my 4th grader this year. So it's mostly literature based, so it has some spine books, and I'll mention those to you first. And we start out with Grandpa's Box, and this is one of my favorite books. I would even encourage it almost like a little devotional, even if you don't use the program. They use a child's history of the world. Now, a lot of people question this because the first couple chapters are not young earth. Like, we believe in creation, the beginning, 6 days, creation, but in the program, we totally even skip that. We don't even start there. We start later in the book. So that is, it's a good fit for this curriculum. We also use hero tales. They're true stories of Christian heroes. And this was one of the other first books we used as a spine, Life in the Great Ice Age. And he enjoyed this one. And we also use our Bible. There's a lot of references to scripture that correlate with what you're talking about, especially in the ancient history and that. Now, I'm going to look at the curriculum book here with the guide just to make sure I'm on the right track, because there's several books. Okay, now there's a basic package of books that you read along with the spines. So usually you'll take a week, 2 weeks. It's usually not much more than 2 weeks for each of these books. Now, I don't know where the first book went. We have already finished it. But in the back of the first book, which was Noah's Ark, I think this is put out by Answers to Genesis. I have the CD. I don't actually have the book in front of me, but it is somewhere in the house. My son realized there was a CD in the back and wanted to go listen to it, but now I'm not sure where the book is, but we'll find it. So that is one of the first readers. I'm gonna add all these together. Tirzah, A Triumph for Flavius, Fountain of Life, Raiders from the Sea. This was a good adventure. They actually have a series. The Door in the Wall. This is a good book. We've actually listened to this book when my boys were younger. You can, at our library, you can get it on audio. And I probably will do that with my 4th grader this year because, I don't know, I just like sometimes when there's a variety and there's other voices they can listen to, and it really is a good, encouraging book. So, The Wonderful Winter, The Family Under the Bridge. Family Under the Bridge. And 20 and 10. So that is from the basic package. There is a lot of reading because there is another package, which I'm going to tell you what that is called, and then I will show you the ordering thing too. It is called, they have an extension package, and that is what I mentioned about when my son was in 6th grade and did this program that he read on his own. But the Deluxe Package I will show you that. Starts off with the 500-year-old puzzle. Draw and write through history. And this is the creation through Jonah, I think. Okay. A Trojan horse. And some of these books are younger, but a majority of the time, I may let him read this one. I've read it so many times, but because he is a good reader. But I probably read most of these books with them when I did this curriculum. The Young Christian's Introduction to the Bible, and it mainly just goes over the books of the Bible and what they're about. It's really good. Leaf the Lucky. The Minstrel in the Tower. Pedro's Journal. Little Miriam of Galilee. We have Mozart, the Wonder Boy. And the Little Riders. Okay, thank you for continuing to watch. That was everything but the science and the Bible. And I also want to mention the notebook pages. For science, I'm going to start off. There are several books for that also. We have one small square. This is the Arctic tundra. And then another one small square, and this is the cactus desert. Now the science usually correlates with the history. So if you notice, we're talking about the tundra, we're talking about the ice age. I'm thinking that we'll be talking about like Moses and the Israelites wandering in the wilderness when we talk about the desert. This may, I'm not sure if these are in the right order, but there's also the Great Dinosaur Mystery. This is a really good book, and actually we pulled it off and have already read it. Didn't realize it was part of the science. But that's okay, because he loved it, and I don't think he will mind looking at it again and answering the questions. There's also one small square coral reef. Find the Constellations. Columbus. Leonardo da Vinci. I'm reaching over here for a couple more. Pasteur's Fight Against Microbes. And Albert Einstein. And I actually remember reading this. This is a good book. So that is our science. I do want to mention there is notebook pages. Now the notebook pages for our science, in the manual, it tells you exactly what to do for science. It will tell you maybe to read out of the Tundra book, and then maybe ask you some questions, maybe draw a picture of a particular animal and write some things about it underneath. And all of that is meant to be in a Charlotte Mason style, which could be in just regular notebook paper. It could be done on copy paper. It could be done on those notebooks where they have the picture up top and the lines for the words on the bottom. But when I first found this curriculum, I also found a site on their Yahoo group. They had a Yahoo group, and they had files. And under the files, someone had made some notebook pages that correlated with the science. And so I just found them again on the Facebook group that is for Heart of Dakota, Preparing Hearts for His Glory. And I really like the pages. I have seen some people post that they prefer not to use something like this. They would rather just let the creativity roll, which is fine. But I know like they even are asked to write some Bible verses. They say in cursive. I think one of my boys that was not his quality, and he would just write in print. So I'm not saying that you have to do it just the way they ask. But my fourth grader now, I will write it on the whiteboard and he will copy it in cursive. But I usually have him read it. That's the important thing to me, is that they can read the cursive. And I don't think I mentioned the notebook pages for the history, and that would be the same. You could do it on notebook paper or copy paper, however you want to do it. You could put it in a 3-ring binder. You could just file it in like a little filing folder. But this year they actually put out a new manual. I have the old one, and with that it will tell you to look at the notebook pages that they have created, and they're beautiful. So and a lot of it will be like writing narration, and some of it is vocabulary, and then they actually have a, let's see, they have a timeline. I don't know if you can see that, and these you could cut out and put like on the wall or something. Now, for my younger boys, they didn't have the notebook pages, but we made timelines like on little 4x6 cards. So there's different ways to do it without purchasing all of this. And then they have the Draw Right Now. There's a lot of drawing and copy work from that particular book. So they are very nice, and he's enjoyed them. So, but you could do all this on regular notebook paper. They're not required, especially for the older books. So, and one other thing, we are not doing their Bible. We are doing their Bible memory. Like right now he's working on Psalms chapter 1. But, and we will do different things throughout the year. I don't have a set Bible curriculum right now. I have ordered, it's called Foundations of Faith, and it's by notconsume.com. It's the same company that I had the reading program book I showed you. And so far he's really liked it. This is actually his brother's. It says youth. His says juniors. And then I got 2 youths for his older brothers, and there's also one for the parent. So you're all working on it together, but at different levels. Like he has picked it up and pretty much done it on his own. He may talk to me about it, and that was what I plan to do. I think there's 19 lessons, and I will do that, and then I will let them do 2 lessons a week, maybe, like work on a day and then another day, and then we'll meet and talk about it. And that's just an extra, especially for his older brothers. But it's been really good. Who is God? The errancy of the Bible. Why am I here? Those are just some of the subjects. It also says, what do I believe about like creation and purity, and it even has media on here, so that'd be good. And lots of other things. So I wanted to also mention that to you. I appreciate you watching what I am using for my 4th grader this 2021-2022 school year, and I hope that you comment, give me any thoughts on what I'm using if you'd like to see more, and I'd also like to know what you are using, whether it be for your 4th grader or another elementary age or even high schooler, because I do have a high schooler 9th grade, and I have done a video on what I'm using for him. I also have a 12th grader, but he is doing dual credits this year. So, all right, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you.